We are heading off to the FBI, who says that North Korean hackers were behind the $100 million Horizon Bridge theft. The agency says Lazarus Group and APT38 are responsible for the attack that happened in June, and added that they relied on a malware campaign known as Traitor. Now, traitor is a term used by the government to refer to spear phishing messages sent to employees of crypto companies that often mimic a recruitment effort and offer high-paying jobs to entice recipients to download malware. Well, remember that this is reportedly also how $600 million worth of crypto was stolen from the Axie Infinity-linked Ronin Bridge. Will, I'm kicking it off to you. North Korean hackers are out here exploiting bridges. What do you take away from this?
Yeah, be careful. Look under your pillows. I might be coming for you. I actually want to bump the story to Zach. I feel like he's got a hot take. Come back in a second. Zach?
I mean, the North Korean hackers are doing great here. They're kicking ass. They did the Ronin thing. They did this one. This was long rumored to be the case, right? I think Elliptic was one of the early analytics firms that said, hey, this looks like the work of North Korean hackers. FBI confirming that based on their understanding. So, yeah, shout out to them. They're doing it right. They're impersonating talent. They're doing all sorts of things. They're putting the whole bridge industry like in crisis, right? Cross-chain is in crisis because North Korean hackers are going the extra mile. So hats off to them. They're really doing it. That is all. That was like my semi-spicy take and really doesn't add much. So back down to you, Will. What do you got?
No, I think you're spot on. And Lazarus Group is even a badass name, so they got that going too, right? I don't know if they named it themselves or is the FBI, but I think Lazarus Group's got to be one of the
simping for the North Korean hackers
We
now?
are simping for the
We
North
kinda
Korean
are,
hackers.
What?
We
What's wrong
are,
with that?
yes. What
They
is
got the
going on?
bag. Respect the
Lazarus
people who
Group,
get the
please
bag.
don't hack us. Please leave us alone. We sim for you.
Honestly,
We
I'd
sim
be
for you.
honored to be hacked by the Lazarus Group. All right, just kidding. They're actually using this money for very bad purposes, including stockpiling nuclear weapons in North Korea. So we're not a big fan of them on this show or anywhere else. The one thing I do want to bring up, to Zach's point, is they are going after the smart things, right? These bridges. Bridges and crypto are so new and everyone thinks that you can use them so easily. And that's because a lot of these developers have rushed into making these bridges for users instead of thinking about the security parameters. If I'm moving Bitcoin to Ethereum, or if I'm moving Ethereum to another bridge like Avalanche, there's a whole bunch of things you have to jump through that are not safe and secure at all. Most of the time, these bridges, in fact, are just multi-sig wallets controlled by developers and admins. And then you just go after those developers and admins and you have a honeypot. So that's typically what you do in these situations. There's a lot of money sitting in these multi-sigs. Really easy to hack them if you know who to go after. Lazarus Group apparently does know how to go after them. So to me, I think this is going to keep happening because no one has really actually solved how to bridge between chains yet. This is still like unexplored territory. A lot of people are putting time and effort into it, but a lot of people who are just using these chains, they don't have the patience to wait. They just want to move their assets between chains right now instead of selling and then buying on a new chain. And until that really changes, we're going to see more hacks like this. Up to you, Wendy.
So kind of an interesting, I guess, history corner about this. Like way back in the day, what we used to do is like when you would get your trading profits, you would use, you would convert it to like Litecoin or to Dogecoin to send it to a different exchange so that the transaction fees wouldn't be so high. But then you would have to still pay a little bit of a transaction fee. But it was a lot faster than sending Bitcoin way back in the day. But I guess we have bridges to kind of solve that now. But at the same time, I don't really feel comfortable using bridges. I just feel
Wendy.
like...
No, we don't have bridges to solve it. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I know that's what I'm saying is I don't feel comfortable using it because it's like, I'm just scared. I'm going to bridge the wrong leg to somewhere.
You're going to bridge
and, like,
to North Korea.
I'm going to bridge to North Korea, man,
good.
and like get my funds stolen. So I'll just go ahead and send my Litecoin and Dogecoin for things when I actually am a profitable trader, which, yeah, so about that. Jen.
I think this highlights the user experience versus security conundrum we have in this space, right? Everyone's trying to get all of these users into the space and make things as easy as possible for them. But maybe we need to just pump the brakes. And I've said this on the store before. I think Vitalik has said this when it comes to bridges also. And just, make sure that the things that we're building are tight and the security is there. And then we can focus on bringing the next billion users over and making it as easy as possible for them. But I think we have a lot to figure out before they get here. And we've already lost a lot of money. So let's just pump the brakes a little bit. Zach, I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, all good technical points. I think from a narrative perspective, this is a real black eye for crypto, right? It's like, what is crypto good for? Funding North Korea's nuclear weapons program. That's a really bad look for the crypto industry. And yet we see this with Ronin, with Harmony, with probably others. That money, as Will mentioned, is being funneled to very bad things. So I think from a regulatory perspective, that this as a conversation point is real bad for sensible regulation of the crypto industry going forward. When you see headlines like this and you realize that, oh, wow, a ton of funding is going from these exploits to just straight up bad stuff. Quick word, last word, Will, what do you got?
Yeah, all I was going to say is like, you can't say crypto doesn't have a real world use case at this point because we are doing something, right?
Ouch.
Just not good stuff.